I started this business in 1954 with my brother, and in 1963, I started my own business. And my dad put his whole farm up for sale for mortgage, just to put me in business. And today I have 8 stores, and we're still building. And I love the business, I love people. But I started realizing that I had a lot of gifts that could help other people, not just my own team members, but other people in our community.
We started off at a youth foundation. We did golf tournaments, so we raised $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and we just gave away in scholarships and whatnot. And I didn't like that because after the money and the check is cashed, nobody really remembers it. And so I said, we got to go into these communities and give them something that's going to be around. And that's where we came up with parks.
Bobby started forming this youth foundation, and they earmarked Huset Park as the first place to put a playground in. And of course, playgrounds are rather expensive. The park in itself is kind of just the hub of the activities in Columbia Heights. And they got their foundation going and raised funds, and so now we have this beautiful playground.
Most recently, Bobby and Steve's Youth Foundation have come to us and wanted to work with us on another project. And we happen to have a project very close to their Nicollet store at Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Park.
What they're doing is they're reimagining the Martin Luther King Park in South Minneapolis. And as a part of that, the playground, which should be fantastic because it's a playground that is done in such a way that it helps kids think about what Martin Luther King means. Bobby and Steve have said all the time, we're there to do whatever you want.
You can tell when you work with donors if they've got people who are engaged or who are in those leadership roles. And in this case, very engaged, very warm, wanting not only to see a project happen, but wanting community to be built in that process.
Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge is a drug and alcohol program for people of all ages. We offer short and long programming for people who are struggling with an addiction. For several years, Bobby and Steve's has been a great partner of Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge. At our Walk for Hope, which has been going on for 4 years, they were the very first sponsor to sign up, and they're usually the last to leave the event as well. They make everything such great fun.
The Youth Foundation supports the youth in our communities by building parks, by giving individual grants, by giving away books. We have book readings at our facilities with local radio celebrities.
The reading program started almost really by accident. Bobby, being the Bobby that he is, went out one day and found a bunch of books. And we really didn't know what to do with the books. So we decided, let's get the kids involved with this. So we created a Read with Santa program. We sent out a bunch of press releases and people picked up on it. It became hugely successful. We gave away books. We had Santa Claus at various locations throughout the Twin Cities, and from that, we were donated 6,000 books, and so now that program continues.
Our 11-year-old son, Tommy, he was diagnosed with vitiligo, which is a skin pigmentation disorder. We're having a tough time getting the insurance to cover it, which they ended up covering the treatments, but our deductible is pretty high. You know, Bobby came to us and said this is the reason we started this foundation, to help families and children in need. So they are helping us with the deductible and some of the medicine that's not covered under insurance.
There was this skateboard park in Bloomington, Minnesota, a suburb of Minneapolis, that was over 20 years old, and it had worn itself to the point it was dangerous for the kids. We went about the business of raising the funds.
And they held a fundraiser and held a big event at the skate park. Well, they didn't raise the full $25,000, but Bobby and Steve's the foundation generously gave us $25,000.
And it's been kind of fun because not only do we give the money for the park, but then we get involved with the community, with the people that are actually doing stuff for the community.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving has a program that's called Campaign to Eliminate Drunk Driving, and Bobby and Steve's Youth Foundation has really taken a great part in putting the crash cars out and funding us financially. It's very personal. I feel like they actually care and is playing a vested role versus just providing funding.
What I love about working for the Youth Foundation is the many activities that we get involved with. One of the areas that we support are children on horseback. Our division out here is working with the kids, and that's what we love the most, to make sure that they get a healthy evening and a happy, just a great experience when they come out here.
When we saw the joy on these kids' faces, it warmed your heart. It was something needed to be done, and the foundation made it happen.
Well, I think we should build parks in every community that we're in our business. And I believe that every one of our team members should get involved in the community. The best thing in the world is to give. I believe that. And I know there's more blessings in giving than receiving. And I love giving.
One of our jobs as a leader is we should always add value to our communities. When I meet you and I come up and shake your hand, I should find a way to add value to your life every day. And that makes them better, makes me better, and makes Bobby Steve's Auto World better.